Gordon Brown saying that the Yes campaign is quote-unquote stronger than unionism. Well, we'll see about that, won't we? We'll see about that on Saturday. But Brown says here that he believes that, quote, in the long run, the forces pulling Britain apart are greater than the forces holding it together, unless something is done about it. And in a way, he has got a point. I know what he's getting at here, but unfortunately he does not proffer the solution, and the solution that Brown proffers is an extremely dangerous one, which will not work. Because, as we wrote an entire chapter in our book about Gordon Brown's proposals for the Labour Party when they get into power later this year. And his proposals are basically more devolution and more power for Holyrood, which is to say more power for the SNP and the Scottish Cabbages to mess things up. That's Gordon Brown's solution, more devolution. Another of his solutions is also to abolish the House of Lords and replace it with a Senate of the regions and nations. Now, the House of Lords no doubt needs reform, but if you're going to get rid of it and then replace it with essentially another level of federalism, which is to say an elected chamber from Scotland, electing people on the basis of their being from Scotland, electing people on the basis of being from Wales, on the basis of being Northern Irish, and on the basis of English regions, then that's going to be a second chamber which does nothing but squabble between the nations. And he's going to give the second chamber powers to essentially overrule the first chamber. So how on earth this man thinks any of that is going to strengthen the United Kingdom? He must be living in cloud cuckoo land. So it's like he's always had a point that the union needs to be strengthened, but then his answer is to totally ruin it and weaken it even further as a consequence of even more and more federalism and devolution. So the man is completely confused about that matter. But if you want to be clear about things, and I really do suggest you get a copy here of One Big Country, a big book for the Union, Volume 1. It's the first in a 5-volume series. We'll be producing one a year. This is only $9.99, and all you need to do is go onto amazon.co.uk and search Amazon for One Big Country, and it will be the first thing that comes up. And we wrote an entire chapter. In fact, we wrote several chapters. Let me just read out their headings. Dissolving or devolving. The danger of Labour's federalist plan for the general election. And Chapter 16, Assembly of the Nations and Regions, 11 reasons why it's a bad idea for the UK and for the Labour Party. All revealed in One Big Country, a big book for the Union, Volume 1. Please do check it out, folks. It's only $9.99, and it helps to keep us on air, because that's how we get kept on air. We get kept on air through donations and through purchases of our merchandise.